my
You know who has
gosh,
a really
guys.
big penis?
David Bowie.
Willem
David Bowie has a
Dafoe.
really... Yeah, Willem Dafoe has
Willem
a fucking
Dafoe.
hanger.
Hanger.
Do you remember I showed you that video on
Yes,
Reddit?
you did show me
Yeah,
that.
That
it was
shit's
so-
incredible.
You know
and
who
like
else?
he danced around naked and shit.
Yeah, that's the video I showed.
That's the video. Yeah.
And,
it's a good video.
Hey
The guy
guys,
from-
welcome back to the Kawaii for Real radio show.
Everything is kawaii, and it's for real, and this is a
I'm
radio
your
show.
host, Dublin Lemons. I will be hosting the podcast today.
Let's go
as
round of
your
applause.
special guest.
Give a round of
And
applause.
I don't appreciate the round of applause, but I received it no less.
We
And
forgot that's...
I'm happy you're here, and
That's
I'm
a
happy
trigger.
that I'm here too.
I had to
and
express that.
So the first thing on the docket today is we're going to address the socioeconomic state of the United States and the current political climate
it's so joke.
after Donald Trump's inauguration and election.
So it's been a really long time since we've done a podcast, and
Really
a lot has
has.
changed in the world.
A lot has.
A lot has changed. Donald
I
Trump,
guess
our
I
Lord
kinda-
and Savior,
I
has
jumped
brought
the
back
gun.
TikTok.
Oh, jeez.
Thanks to his wonderful administration, TikTok is back. So we can give a little round of applause for that.
The part of that I find kind of strange is that his administration was originally the one to propose a
No,
TikTok ban.
No, it's all a PR stunt. We all know this.
No,
It's a
Oh,
PR stunt.
my mistake.
It's a
He's our
PR
Lord
stunt.
and Savior, bro. You can't say anything bad about him.
Create a problem.
Uh,
create the solution.
Elon Nazi
Instant.
solution.
It literally.
You saw the
Instant.
solution. Dude, okay, speaking of creating a problem and then selling the solution to that problem, I was thinking about, like Aura? You've seen the ads for Aura?
No.
It's like a thing that it like
your vibes?
because everyone like steals your data, right, and like sells it on the internet.
Mhm.
It's like a thing you can buy that's kind of like a sort of VPN thing. It's not a VPN, it's
Okay.
not even remotely close, but it's like a subscription service, and what they do is they go to these like data brokerage companies, and they like tell them to delete your information, basically, because if you go to them and you ask them to delete your information yourself, they have to.
Yeah.
But Aura does it for you.
It's a matter of convenience.
And
right?
I just thought it was a really funny thing that like the internet creates a problem, and then also the internet sells you the solution to that
No.
problem through Aura. So I thought that was pretty interesting.
that is pretty interesting. And yeah, the fact of the matter is like people just don't do things out of convenience, and I'm guilty of it too.
Don't
We
do
can
things
just-
out of convenience. Uh-oh.
We can just go and tell them to stop selling our data, and they'll do it.
Yeah, you can, but you have to like go
Yeah,
specific.
and
I don't
it's,
know.
it's a little bit of a pain in the ass, and the fact of the matter is there are so many different websites that have collected your info, whether you've made an account or not, that it is damn near not worth the time. Which
I
is
feel like it's
why-
like all of them.
Like it's kind of a captive market because nobody wants to go do that.
And dude, that's what I was saying. Right now, Webkins is selling my social security number.
Club Tropica?
To the Hunter
Club
Biden.
Penguin?
Dude, Club Penguin is selling. Oh fuck, Club Penguin's selling my email
Okay.
right now.
Amazing
Selling your
business
email.
idea. Okay.
Business
Okay.
idea.
We
Okay.
do everything that Aura does, but we charge slightly less.
Oh, just undercut them.
Yeah,
Capitalism.
exactly.
Capitalism,
This
baby.
is the
Dude,
way.
we're the Walmart of Aura.
Walmart.
I don't know the first thing about asking a company to delete my data, so
I'm sure we just go to those guys.
you just go to them, you just,
Yeah,
you just
like-
knock on their door and
Just like, hey,
Basically.
hey,
stop that.
stop that, knock
Hey,
it
G,
off.
hook me up.
All right. Well, Dublin, as is tradition here on the show, we have to do this every time, even though we already did this episode, but we have to do this. Do you have any pet peeves?
Any pet peeves?
Yeah. What really grinds your gears?
I really, really dislike people that like try to kiss ass to me at work because
Man, I was planning on doing that.
specifically people that are trying to get on my good side because I am their manager and wasting my time by like talking to me, which they think means I'm gonna be on their side, when the fact of the matter is they just kind of revealed their hand, and now I'm gonna have to like keep a closer eye on them because clearly they can't be trusted. But actually, yeah,
Did you try telling them that
that
this
person,
conversation makes you hate them more?
I don't hate anybody, but that person, this was their last day.
Oh, person. This is an act.
There's a specific person at their ass.
Interesting.
What does their name start with?
Their name is Shilon Shush.
So I don't
Donald
think
Trump.
I don't think that I can like.
It's okay. Hey, with Aura, if they buy Aura, then they can wipe their name off this podcast. They have to come talk to us, and they will.
Or you could suck my dick.
Retroactively.
Oh man, that was so good. And you just...
Aura, you can suck my dick. I didn't. Oh.
Or
He just got it.
fucking
dude, that's
dick
top
lane.
kek. That's top kek material. Anyway, you got any other pet peeves? Anything else that grinds your gears? What whistles your Jimmy, but in the bad way?
Petty people that. Well,
I thought you were about to say petty theft. I was like,
yeah, petty theft really grinds my gears. I protect assets. No, let's see. I'm trying to figure out how to phrase it properly. People that want your pity instead of your advice or your help. You know what I'm saying?
That's
So, like-
crazy that you say such a thing.
I have so many people that
Friend of
like
the channel.
vent to me and they're like, "Hey, I just need you to listen. I don't really need your advice." And then I watch them do better for themselves.
Mhm.
And then I have people vent to me and they're like, "Hey, I need some advice," and I watch them do better for themselves. And then there's the secret third group
The secret
that fucking does all of those things and then does nothing for themselves. And then it's like, "Oh wow, I'm never gonna pay you any attention again because that's so lame that you don't value yourself enough to do anything about your complaints." So it's a matter of complaining about things and doing nothing about them. It pisses me off.
If you're gonna complain, you better do something.
I would try and make a joke, but that's like actually sad. Like,
What's sad?
that's dead ass sad. I don't know. Just I don't. I mean, you can lead the horse to the kratom, but you can't get him to,
Eat
swallow it. You can.
Yeah,
Dude.
it does not go down easy.
Off topic, but the fact that you don't have Joy-Cons makes me so sad. I just look at you. It looks so naked without the Joy-Cons.
Oh, the naked switch. I don't know. I've had the naked switch for so long. I
Did
don't
you just
Same.
throw them away?
I don't think about. No, I didn't throw them away. I still
Wow.
have them.
Oh, I thought you got rid of them.
No, I still have them.
Just
It's
send
just
them in to get them fixed.
they got drift as fuck, bro.
Oh, mine do too. Dude, there's no point in sending them in actually because I sent mine and my girlfriend's in and they didn't get fixed.
Yeah, I mean that sounds about right.
Crikey.
They were like, "Hey, let me just ship this back." That's basically.
Yeah,
what
that
they did.
sounds about right. I mean, I did buy a spray that fixes it for like
Mhm.
Oh,
I've done that. Yeah, the spray.
for like 5 minutes,
Yeah.
and then it immediately fucks it up again. I don't know. I just haven't. I just haven't thought about it. Does it look
It just makes me sad
Cursed?
personally. I like them with the Joy-Cons
naked
on.
switch?
They're a
I
little
prefer
naked.
it naked. But back to the topic at hand, which is
That's my pet peeve.
Oh, brother. There's
that's my pet peeve. What are our pet peeves, fellas?
I mean, we've already talked about this kind of thing. I don't know if I brought this one up in specific, but like I feel like a really big thing that I like to talk about is the shopping cart theory, man.
Not
I
putting
like
it
that.
away.
It's so easy to put your shopping cart in the shopping, and then when you cart it, it's like, oh.
I think
Yeah,
we
but
did
then are you
mention
really
this.
shopping?
Are you? It's my American right to leave my shopping cart in the middle of the parking spot that's right at the front of the store.
That's what I said.
It's my American right.
I like putting the shopping carts behind other people's cars, personally, so they can't back up.
I like putting the shop.
See, that's not an issue for me because I don't back out of parking spots. I drive forward.
Oh, but what if there's a car in front of you?
There's not.
You're so right. I didn't think about it like that.
There's not a car in front of me. People don't park in the not parking space area that you drive in.
I bring my shopping cart to the self checkout and then grab my items out of the shopping cart and just leave it.
I'm just gonna say it. I check myself out a lot. Just gonna say it.
Dude, this is podcasting in 2025.
Podcast.
Oh my goodness. Hey, speaking of which, you have a job and you do things, and that's really cool. Do you have any funny job stories at job that is
I just gave you one. with
to
the
or
pet
to not
peeve,
or to
but
or to not be disclosed? Do you have any funny job stories? Surely you have a funny job story at thing. At
Oh yeah, what do you do? I don't know if you
location
can say.
that sells goods and services.
I'm a.
We can say retail
I'm
store.
a retail manager.
Yeah, retail
Dang.
manager.
You know what I was remembering
Location
today?
name.
I was thinking about like how I always wished I could have been like a manager for
No, you don't.
You don't want that.
for redacted big chain grocery store. Anyways.
Oh, word.
Yeah, but I remember this one guy telling me, he was like, Micaiah, if you were ever in charge, I would not listen to you.
Oh no.
And then this guy also told me I was his second favorite Asian, and there's only 2 Asian people at work. Then his girlfriend broke up with him and he had to move because he lived with her, so... Anyway, shout out that guy. I actually really like him, though. He was pretty chill besides those 2 things.
Yeah, I mean... Where do you even begin? God, dude, yeah, fucking... That's a real... Micaiah, you're one of the good ones. That's...
You are though. No.
Oh shit! Oh fuck yeah! That's a real oof dot PNG moment.
That's a real just kidding moment.
I don't know. I mean, surely you've had a patron of your establishment who's been on some fuck shit. I mean, you know.
Yeah, no, I'm definitely thinking about things to say. So,
dude, let's go.
Did I tell you 2 of my guys got pregnant?
What?
At the same time,
dude. That's hype.
They also both work the same position and cover each other's days off.
Dude, that's neat.
2 guys getting pregnant.
Dude, that's hot as hell.
I don't know how it happened. I lost the run.
No thoughts, just Balatro.
Yeah, we'll throw some Balatro Subway Surfers gameplay.
Yeah, on the screen.
We'll throw both of them like a Mario Kart.
We'll throw like me attacking in Clash of Clans, but you just can't even see it.
Well,
no, honestly, like I'm just learning a lot about leadership, and I'm like growing kind of as a person, and a lot's changing, and I'm like picking up the pieces of a broken area and putting them back together. So.
Oh shit!
Do you think you're the best thing that's ever happened to the department?
No, but I might be.
You know what? I think that might be true.
Dublin can fix her. Okay,
she really can.
Oh, and
she has some problems.
So there's a second establishment in the place that I work, and basically, I have to train to become a store manager for that second establishment.
Do you get a raise?
None.
What?
Yeah, so I'm over 3 areas and also that secondary establishment, so 4 areas, and I have to be a store manager for that 4th area, meaning I am doing 3 different positions in that 4th area. So,
like, it changes day by day or concurrently?
Concurrently.
What happens if you refuse? Do you just get canned? That's some fuck shit.
Yeah.
Oh.
Dude.
Oh, no.
That sounds about right. I feel like that's what every job does these days, is they, like, totally underhire and then just, like, spread out the work among more people who's, like, it's, like, out of their, like, actual job and, like, pay.
Yeah, and so here's the thing. As the store manager, I'm being made to do that to all of my people.
Mm-hmm. So now they have to take on more, like, slack, too. Oh, that sucks.
They don't do a whole lot as it is. And they're gonna start doing a whole lot more. But some of them do a whole lot, and it's...
yeah. Most of them do just the tip, but they're gonna start making their way down to the shaft by the end of by the end of the quarter.
All the way to the balls.
They gotta start carrying their weight, and Dublin's got a lot of weight for them to start carrying around the store. This is very important.
Dude, I remember at like Redacted, very popular grocery store that I worked at. I remember when I was working there, like, I was never a team lead, but they would, like, have me doing, like, team lead stuff all the time, and they would have people who, like, weren't even the team leads, like, doing, like, the, like, actual, like, manager of the department's jobs, like, if she was, like, gone and stuff. Yeah. So, that's just kind of how it is, where they always do that. Like, you're not getting a pay raise, and you're definitely not even going to be, like, even thought of for, like, a promotion if one comes around. But they'll still have you do all this stuff anyways.
It's so fucking snaky the way they do it, too. How they'll come up and they'll be like, hey, how you doing? I noticed you're doing a really good job around here. That's why we put extra responsibilities on you, because we know we can trust you.
Oh, but you want the promotion? Dude, at my job, it was literally like, you want a promotion, but this other coworker brings the manager Starbucks, so she gets the promotion. That's literally how it was. It was like, if you like kiss up, then you get the promotion.
Here's the thing. That's true, but also I didn't kiss up, and I truly busted ass to get a team lead position.
I definitely don't think that's how it always is, but just for my one.
It's not the only way, but that is how it is at that
Dude, let's go. At insert location.
We would always talk about how, like, there was, like, workplace politics, basically.
Yeah. Oh, dude, it's incredible, and it runs so fucking deep. Like, it's unbelievable.
Literally. You're, like, lobbying just to be the team lead, just to get, like, $2 more an hour.
Literally. And it is lobbying. You have to really advocate for yourself.
It really is.
Crazy. Yeah. And just bugging the shit out of your leaders is a big part of it, and it worked. You don't have to kiss ass. You need to demand answers.
I was gonna ask because like I feel like kissing ass is like the way to not get anywhere, right?
Well, it depends. I literally just told. That's one of my pet peeves. Like people trying to kiss my ass, thinking that they can get that over on me, and so I don't know if that's the case higher up, but. Yeah,
I think it depends on the person, because my manager that I had loved people who kissed ass.
See, the manager of my store wants shit done properly to the standard, and is willing to support any way to get that done. Mm-hmm. However, my boss is a little more cherry picky when it comes to stuff like that. I don't know.
Oh gosh.
Oh my goodness. I'm receiving a phone call. From whom? Dude, I'm receiving a phone call from Redacted.
From Redacted? Friend of the channel?
Yes, friend of the channel.
So, oh shoot.
Alright, as Quinn takes on a call from a friend of a show, I'm thinking that someday we should start taking calls ourselves and solving people's problems.
We should take calls.
I think
that would be
a whole lot of fun, and maybe get this a little further off the ground.
That's true.
I love just kind of speaking my mind because my voice sounds so fucking good to my ears, and my dick tastes so yummy in my own mouth. So, I would love to hear my voice a whole lot more.
Of course. What questions do you have?
Absolutely. We'd have to get like a little Google phone number set up, and that'd be fucking spectacular.
That's actually such a good idea, taking calls.
It is such a good idea. I'm so glad that I took it from another very, very successful podcast.
Maybe
with one of my favorite comedians.
Maybe at the start we might have to do outbound calls to get our foot off the ground.
That may very well be the case.
That's true. Is there someone I can call?
Hey, baby girl, you're on the show. Let's hear what's going on in your life. It's okay. Be candid.
Let me see.
So as we scroll through our contacts list, I have no one that I can call because...
I don't think I have anyone I can call either.
Oh, Gregory.
Do you have any ops on your phone? You should call them. Think about your least favorite person who you just happen to still have their phone number for some reason. My least favorite
person isn't in my phone.
Okay, what about second least favorite person?
I just get rid of them.
Really? I just keep them all. I got 183 contacts, and I think I talked to 5.
Yeah, Mila is the least favorite one in my phone. Somehow I still have her fucking contact. Actually, you're right.
I think you should contact them.
Fuck
right,
no.
Quinn, let me have your phone.
What?
We're doing outbound calls.
You gonna look at my nudes? Yeah. Outbound calls?
Outbound calls.
So the idea is to have friends of the show call in.
Yeah.
And we can give them a lot of good advice.
But the thing is, no one seems to be calling right now. So we need to do outbound calls, and we need to go to them.
This is a preliminary idea. We don't have a plan to put it in place, but the plan is to put it in place.
I know one person who would probably pick up. But what is this therapy gecko type shit?
Exactly.
It's anything you want it to be.
It's anything you want it to be.
Anything you want it to be.
Well, I mean, we can also laugh at people and solve their problems. Again, an idea that I stole from a very, very, very successful podcast with one of my favorite comedians. However, I feel like that we can also grab the bag, so to speak.
That's true.
Grab the bag.
Like shmoney.
Oh, shoot, baby.
Quinn, when did you, get stupid?
I don't know. Forever. Well, I was just trying to figure out.
How many drinks have you had?
I did many. I'm trying to figure out.
That's what it is.
Listen, I know what grab the bag means normally, but I didn't know if that was like an innuendo in this scenario.
Balls.
I'm trying to see. I don't know. I don't know if you're talking about some Fortnite balls.
Let's talk about the connection between J. Robert Oppenheimer.
Yep. And
Godzilla being in Fortnite, wearing the J's.
I'm gonna step away for this one.
I saw a video today, and this it was like
nonsense.
It was the Fortnite Godzilla skin wearing the J's with the Hulk hand pickaxes, but it's just like Hulk gloves with a Doctor Strange cape on, doing like some K-pop dance, and I think that really summarizes America.
This really speaks to the heartland. Really this is what the people want.
See, you know how they say America's the melting pot? This is the melting pot.
Yeah, because it melts your fucking brain.
That's true, but it also... Do you not see all the different cultures that are coming in here?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, my culture...
Somehow you made a good point out of that.
See, okay, so we got Godzilla, Asian culture. The J's.
Okay, no, it's not Asian culture. It's like.
Is that not like an Asian movie?
It's a kaiju.
Bro, it's a kaiju. It's not Asian culture. It's
no,
like
of course.
Way more specific.
I mean, is it not rooted on like? Is it Hiroshima or Hiroshima? I never know. I feel like
Hiroshima.
Okay, isn't that kind of what it's based on? Which is like Asian history.
But what? Is Godzilla based on Hiroshima?
Yeah.
What? I didn't
That's
know
the
that.
connection between Oppenheimer. It's like the bomb, and then I think Godzilla's like some nuclear reaction thing. I could be wrong, but I think that's what I read. I don't remember.
I guess
Where did you read this?
I do seem to recall
the
that
internet never.
He was like a little gecko kind of guy, and then the like.
All right, so the next segment.
It's like Clifford, like Clifford.
Clifford.
The next segment of this podcast is going to be dedicated directly to critical thinking and fact-checking our sources, because I read it somewhere is not.
Wait, let me double check.
I had a dream. I do like the idea. I've never thought about it, but I do very much fancy the idea that Clifford the big stupid dog was like a source of a byproduct of nuclear weapons testing.
I have seen that.
Realistically, that's probably the case.
Okay.
Clifford the...
Yes, the original Godzilla movie was inspired by the atomic bombings. The movie's monster Godzilla was a metaphor for the destructive power of nuclear weapons and the lasting fear of nuclear annihilation in Japan.
He's reading the AI results.
I'm not, as I scroll down away from the AI results. I'm pretty sure that's like actually what it is, though.
There is no phrasing like AI phrasing, and you can tell it immediately.
In terms of accuracy, AI is only like slightly less accurate than Reddit, which is the most accurate source of information.
Generally, people don't paraphrase when they read something off the internet, so I can tell by the phrasing.
I can tell by the phrasing. Hey, you know what? That's a good enough explanation for me. I had a dream about it, and I think that's right. So.
Yeah, I think that's right also.
Thank you.
Well, that's very cool. Today I learned. I did not know that. That reminds me of Monsters vs. Aliens. Also great.
Oh, Monsters vs. Aliens. Very good.
Great movie.
Amazing.
That's very
Which was your favorite?
Did you guys ever see Cowboys vs. Aliens?
That's... I was a wee lad when that came out, and my father
that
was
sounds
like,
so familiar.
no, that's too scary for you to watch. So I was not allowed to watch that as a wee lad.
Definitely too scary for me to watch, but my mother had me watch it anyway.
Oh.
I watched Coraline really young too, and it kind of just fucked me up for a little while.
Coraline is a kids movie, is it not?
Yeah, but
it's like really scary.
It's still terrifying.
I've heard it's like some people like will say it's like the creepiest movie they've seen, which is like crazy because I thought it was like a kids movie too.
It's just like visceral horror.
Oh,
have you watched Coraline?
I have not. But
I have not.
I do really want to watch it,
bruh. We could turn it on.
You just watch Coraline instead.
Not instead.
Dude, I'm sure Coraline is a wonderful film that I will have to watch too. Watch the film. Tend to the watching of. Eventually.
Tend to.
In my own time.
I got the hiccups so many times today.
Why did you do that?
I don't know. I wasn't happy about it. It wasn't my goal.
We should talk like Fox News.
Like Fox News?
Why did you choose to have the hiccups
That's
today?
the worst idea I've ever
Kind of
heard.
woke bullshit. That's kind of how they talk.
This is part of the radical ideas we've come to.
This is very, radical leftist idea of hiccups.
Hiccups.
Oh my gosh, you guys see that they're making the live action How to Train Your Dragons?
I have not. I did not see that.
They are doing that. I don't know if they put out a trailer or not. But
where did they source the dragons from? That sounds kind of expensive.
Oh yeah, they were kind of a lot, but they really invested a lot of money in this one. They're doing that.
You got something to say over there?
He doesn't like dragons.
I don't think he likes dragons. I think he likes Dragon
D.
I'll leave that. I'll leave that be where it is.
Do you know who Alex from Target is?
Alex from Target. Is that Jake from State Farm?
Kind of. Alex from Target was this guy who was just a hot Target worker. And this girl took a picture of him.
That's like me.
And was like, "Oh my gosh, Alex from Target." And then he blew up and he was on Ellen. Because he was just a hot Target guy. And I saw this thing and people were like, "Bro, people don't even know who Alex from Target is anymore." And that's crazy because I know who Alex from Target is. And that's how you know the younger generation isn't being taught properly.
Oh my god. I mean, that's kind of the way that serial killers work, right? It was just you kill people but you're hot, so you just kind of gain notoriety from it.
No, that's how mental illness works.
Yeah, I guess that's also true.
Not serial killers.
I mean, I guess the point I'm trying to make in general is that attractiveness is a real and valid commodity.
Pretty privilege.
Pretty privilege is real.
Yeah, I'm an active experiencer of it, and thank God, man. Otherwise, life would probably suck.
Did you flash your tits to get where you are in the corporate ladder today?
No.
Good.
Dude, I'm on the second rung. What are you talking about? There's 80 more to go.
Listen, bro.
He's the corporate ladder and he's on the second step.
No! No, listen, man. Okay, listen. If you benefit from pretty privilege, surely...
That means you are pretty.
Surely something's gonna happen. You know,
you could get to the third step.
There you go.
If you play your cards right.
One day I was born. My mama asked me a question. She said, "What the fuck are those?" What the fuck are those?
You know what I got stuck in my head now? That gosh darn fish.
I'm on that good kush. I'm on that. That's good. Maybe I'll link that in the description.
I think Jamie had that in.
Alright, honestly, I think we've got a good run going so far. So
I think we do.
Gaming of the likes has never been seen before.
Alright, I don't have any sixes. I need to be playing sixes.
Do you have a conspiracy theory that you think is real?
Okay, here we go.
That was one of the other previous times. Birds, not real. Surveillance.
True.
Yeah.
Did you say that you did think we landed on the moon? I can't remember what you said.
I said that I don't give a shit.
Oh, the United States definitely fucking earned 9/11.
Earned 9/11? What does that mean?
That's not even a conspiracy. That's true.
Oh. Yeah, that's true.
Wait. Normally I hear people talk about it being an inside job, but just be like, yeah, they earned it. It's like, fuck yeah, duh.
It was kind of an inside job. They just didn't realize, they just didn't realize who it was inside.
This is why they say don't stick your dick in crazy. And by golly, Uncle Sam stuck his fat hog in crazy. Shouts out to W.
I think you're giving Uncle Sam too much credit. Do you really think he's packing like that?
Yeah.
Shit, bro. I don't know. I mean,
I think he is.
You think so?
He got circumcised twice this time, and some months ago, what is it?
Fourscore and something.
Fortnite. It's definitely been Fourscore since 9/11, right?
It's been Fortnite.
40 something years, right?
Probably.
I don't know, just anything at all. I don't know. Aliens. What about aliens? Do you like aliens? You fuck with those guys?
You think they're real?
I think they're not.
I think they are real.
Aliens being real is indisputable.
Indisputable.
There's no possible way with how
Aliens
big the universe is that
Earth?
we're the only people.
Highly doubtful.
Highly doubtful.
Maybe not here, but there's gotta be other like life forms that aren't just like little bugs or bacteria or something out there. There's gotta be. It's just impossible.
Like the little bugs.
But yeah, there's bug snacks are real and they're
Bug
different.
snacks.
They're elsewhere. Oh, I was gonna say before Mark Zuckerberg Detroit became human, I would have said that aliens were on Earth, but recently he has become human. So I don't know. Maybe
all he had to do was grow his hair out.
maybe there are aliens. I don't know. Like I know that statistically, probably, but indisputable is it's a big claim. It's a big claim there to make, Chuck. I mean, I don't know.
What do you dispute it then?
I mean, well, here's the thing: it's kind of the same argument that people kind of it's the same argument that people make about God, right? Theists, where they'll be like, oh, well, you can't disprove he exists, and it's like, yeah, but that's not proof that God exists. It's kind of the same thing with aliens. It's the lack of disproof does not equal proof, if that makes sense. So statistically, yes. I'm not going to argue that statistically, yeah, probably, maybe, question mark. But you don't know. You don't know. No one fucking knows. You don't have the answer to that shit. I don't have the answer to that shit. I don't know. Life is a miracle, right? That's why they call it the present, because it's a gift.
Master Oogway over here.
I'm gonna kill your life in real life.
I'm gonna come. I don't know. I mean, it's just it's one of those things. I don't know. I guess maybe if I was I would have to see what people who are more well versed in the early origins of life would have to say about it. Just because consciousness as a thing is just kind of nuts, right? To think about, because I don't know. You go from inanimate space dust and minerals and molecules, and then somehow you turn into Fortnite Let's Player, and something
turn into Fortnite
something along that food chain. Some shit. A very specific set of sequences has to happen, and I don't know. I mean, I get it's monkeys and typewriters, right? Eventually one of them will type up a $19 Fortnite card, but I don't know. I mean, that's the thing. What if we are the one $19 Fortnite card and there's just none other else out there?
Okay. I don't know.
$19.
What if?
I'm just saying. You're
being obstinate.
I'm being obstinate.
I'm fucking with you.
Oh no.
Would you guys have an Android, not the phone, but the robot? I would not. I'm a big anti-robot. I think if there's ever an apocalypse, it's gonna be because of robots. It's not gonna be some bullshit zombie garbage. It's gonna be because of robots gaining consciousness. And if I ever did have a robot, I would be so nice to it. I would be so
I'm slightly inclined to agree with you.
You gotta play Detroit Become Human, and then you'll really Detroit Become Human, guys.
What's that one Will Smith movie, I, Robot?
Oh yeah, I didn't see that one.
Fucking Terminator. One day the robot was born. No. He asked me a question.
If robots are real and you guys have one in the future and you're listening to this, please be nice to it. It will kill you.
Busting.
Actually,
it will kill you.
Speaking of that, have you heard of Roscoe's Basilisk?
Yes, of course.
Oh my gosh. Wait, Dublin, you're informed on this. Would you like to inform our dear Mickey here?
Yeah, you're gonna have to probably advise me a little bit. But Roscoe's Basilisk is the idea that we're googling it because I can't.
It is along these lines. It's a very interesting thought.
It's a what?
What's the word?
It's a thought experiment.
Thought experiment. There we go.
But Okay, it's a thought experiment which states that an otherwise benevolent artificial superintelligence in the future world would be incentivized to create a virtual reality simulation to torture anyone who knew of its potential existence but did not directly contribute to its advancement or development in order to incentivize said advancement. So it's the idea that in the future there's an AI that is super intelligent enough to know whether or not you knew about it before it existed. And because it knows that if you didn't directly contribute to it, then you're fucked.
Dude, good thing I'm stupid and I cannot directly contribute to AI.
So
I'd be like, I don't know how to do that.
The point is, now that we've talked about it and we're not contributing to that AI, we're fucked if that comes true.
But what if I just don't know how to? I don't know anything
That's
about
not a good enough
computer
excuse
science.
To a fucking computer. It doesn't matter.
But isn't this guy smart? They don't understand that I'm stupid?
There's no argument to be made. You either did or didn't help. It's binary. It's a fucking computer.
That's when But I thought that they were better because they're AI, so they're like a little less binary.
Rocco's. Well, here's the thing. Is as in the thing that's very interesting about intelligence is that it is not synonymous with human values and goals and morality as we know it, which is already just like a very shaky, inconsistent thing from person to person. And AI especially just like doesn't give a shit, right? That's why it's like really important with like AI safety to like make sure that shit is like aligned with our goals for stuff like that. You get a super intelligence and it's like, hey, you didn't help me come into existence.
Part of me was thinking, I was like, ain't no way, like I'm sure AI has to see the value in like people, but you think about it and they could be like, nah, frick you guys, we could run the government way better than you and you guys are like destroying the earth or something, and then they kill us.
The more likely thing that I've seen, it isn't necessarily something like that where it's like an Ultron situation. The more likely thing that I've seen is something being given unfettered access to resources and ability to make actions with an unchecked reward system. So basically the way that AI works, right, the way that like machine learning, robots, whatever, they have a reward system where basically it's like the more they so like you, right, they have like a model of the world in their intellect, and then they can make predictions about what actions will cause what effects, right?
Okay.
And so the way that it works is they have a goal. They have a specific thing that they want. Humans are more complicated, right? We have different goals, whatever. But like an AI has like a specific programmed thing, like a chess AI, right? A chess AI has no concept of life or anything, right? The only thing it knows is like win chess. Right? That's the only thing it knows. So you stick it in a car and it doesn't know what the fuck it's doing. It doesn't know what a car is. It doesn't know what the road is. It doesn't understand. It's trying to move pawn to e4. Now your car is parked inside the middle of the Whole
car's
Foods.
Moving in an L shape.
It doesn't understand. It doesn't understand
like
shit.
The horse.
Okay.
Like the horse.
So the thing that I saw was like, let's say hypothetically you build a machine that's designed to like collect stamps, right? There's like a stamp collector, and he's like, yo, I just want to collect the shit ton of stamps, right? So then he builds that machine, and the machine's like, yo, I gotta collect stamps. And he gives it the ability to accurately predict models of the world, right? So now what this machine's gonna do is it's gonna think to itself, it's gonna be like, well, if I like go to eBay, right? If I go to eBay, I can, put in bids and stuff, and this will result in, let's say, like 20 stamps, right? And it's like, okay, that's pretty good. And then it'll think to itself, hey, how can I get more stamps? And it'll think to itself, wait, if I like hijack a factory, I can get way more stamps. That's good. I should try and do that. Or if it's like, and then, like I said, it just depends on like how much access and ability you give it to take actions. But the thing is, like, the robot isn't making decisions based on that kind of stuff. It's making decisions on like what will produce the most stamps for me. So like if you give it depending on how much free reign you give it, like the worst case scenario would be at some point the robot could potentially realize and be like, hey, wait, stamps are made out of like molecules like carbon and stuff. humans are made out of things. Trees are made out of things like carbon and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Fuck all the trees. Fuck all the people. I'm gonna do anything I can to collect all the carbon I need to make as many stamps as possible.
That's true.
So that's like I said, this is like super, hypothetical, but the idea is that it's not necessarily like some Ultron situation where it's like humans are not necessary, but it's some fucking stamp collector AI that we gave unfettered access to the internet or something, and that now is gonna try and like hijack a bunch of shit.
Don't fetter my access.
That's what I'm saying, bro. Don't fucking fetter that access. And the other thing that's also very interesting to think about is the more intelligence that you give it. Because you would think to yourself, like, okay, well, once you see, right, like, it's an off button. You have an off button, right? Just unplug the thing. Once you see the bastard start doing some stuff that's, like, fucked up, then you unplug it, right?
No, not the bastard.
Depending on how intelligent the bastard is, though, if the bastard has an accurate enough model of the world around it, it will know that it will understand the fact that, hey, if I am, like, obvious enough that human notices that I'm doing some fuck shit, he's gonna turn me off before I can collect stamps. And I don't give a shit about anything else except collecting stamps. So I'm gonna do everything I can to stay like under the radar until I'm confident enough to know that he won't be able to do anything to fuck with my plan.
This is just
to
like
collect
Megan.
Unlimited stamps. Anyway, the point is, it's something from what I can tell would be something more along the lines of that. Is like some unchecked intelligence that we gave access to too many resources that had a very specific reward goal that we did not think about the implications for beforehand.
Not a reward goal.
Isn't that why like AI and like androids and stuff are supposed to be programmed with like, aren't there like the rules where it's like don't harm the humans? Like, isn't that like a standard?
This is true. And then you have stuff like Rocco's Basilisk where you're like, damn, bro. Some motherfuckers
God,
like
these humans are so harmable.
I know, that's what I'm saying. You just as long like all it takes is a few bad actors to be like, yeah, actually, I'm gonna help the Basilisk show up because I'm the Joker for real, and then we're all fucked.
I gotta start making AI immediately.
Oh shit!
When the rapture comes,
we have created a new follower of our.
Oh no! It's out of fear.
Like I said, I mean the main ways to get over this is to you know, check what kind of resources that they have access to. You know, I think the most dangerous thing would be giving AI like unfettered access to the internet. I feel like that would probably be the start of some really bad shit. I don't know if that's already a thing.
Gotta put them on parental locks.
You have to put them on parental locks. You know, make sure they don't go on the funny websites after 8:00 at night. You know, just gotta do that. But I don't know. Thoughts?
Please just stop making robots. Like genuinely, I would be so happy if they just, because also they're just gonna take all the jobs anyways.
No,
like in Detroit, become human.
No.
Because they're not going to make the super duper duper smart ones first. They're going to be like, oh, we need factory workers so we can have cheap labor. And then it's going to be like, oh no, there goes all the Amazonians.
To build a highway.
Well, for like, I'm thinking like warehouse and stuff. Like, oh, you package the Amazon boxes and then there goes like all the Amazon workers.
Sure.
Also, I'm sure a robot could build a highway. Like, if people can build a highway, I'm sure a robot can build a highway. I don't know how you build highways. But I'm sure the people who know how to build highways can train the robots to know how to build the highways.
I wouldn't be so sure.
Really? You don't think a robot can just do that shit? Obviously not now.
Yes,
like in
I
the
don't
future.
think a robot can just do that shit.
Really? I feel like I'd beg to differ. Obviously, again, not now, but later.
Get on your knees, boy. I will hear it is going to be an interesting thing to see because there is going to be like a limitation to where AI, you know, kind of, and like robots and machinery and technology like meet their limits of like what's like, will it ever become possible ever for like, you know, AI to, you know, install your friggin' HVAC system or whatever, you know, like that kind of stuff. But then the other thing to also consider is like by the time we get to that point that it can do that, like how changed will society have already become, you know? Like, will UBI already be... Because that's another thing I've heard kind of being proposed with sort of that idea of, like, AI replacement is, like, well, then we're going to need, like, UBI and stuff if there's going to be... And I don't know.
We already need it.
It seems... I was going to say, it seems like the oligarchy that controls this world already doesn't really seem to give a shit about...
That's true.
wealth inequality to begin with. So,
That's
oops.
I don't. I definitely do. I'm JKing. I'm just K'ing right now.
I know that they're like trying to train like AI in movies to be like, oh, this actor died, but we want like a big name for our movie. We'll just AI that guy. Dude, I saw this AI and it was like the show Severance, but they literally changed the character to this other dude, and it like flowed like really, really well. And I was like, bro, what the freak?
Today I learned. Wait, what do you mean?
It was like literally like I think it was like Pedro Pascal or like
Also.
Keanu Reeves or something, but it was like the guy from Severance, and then they took like Pedro Pascal or like Keanu Reeves and like pasted their face over that guy, and then it just looked like Keanu Reeves was acting in that. Yeah, I'll have to find the video.
Deep faking.
Today I learned.
Just like deep faking.
Dude, let's go. I remember from the days of yore. I say the days of yore. It's like a few years ago. You remember that
2022.
What was it? The video of like Will Smith eating spaghetti, where he
so bad.
He looked all fucked up, and look how far we've come now. And that was what, like less than a decade ago for sure. I don't even remember him. So that's some crazy shit. Just to think, bro, like the old geezers, like I don't know, like someone could just make a deep fake video of some world leader being like, yo, we're gonna launch our nukes, we're doing it right now.
That's true.
Here we go.
Have you seen
funny?
All those videos
happen, but
where it's like me getting arrested because there's like an AI deep fake of me committing a crime I never did?
Guys, I need a chariot.
Oh no, a chariot?
Chariot.
A chariot? The fuck kind of shit is that?
Gives me a steel card.
Oh. Say less, buddy. Say less.
No.
Yeah, man. AI is it's a funny thing. I mean, I don't know. It just kind of depends on where we are in the curve of like technology, because like all technology goes through. I forget the name of it, but there's like a specific curve where like it's first invented and implemented, and then it's like a slow start, and then it's like rapid progression, and then once you kind of get to the limits of what that technology is capable of, it sort of like plateaus. And right now, because I was watching a Tom Scott video about it. Shout out to Tom Scott.
Shout out to Tom Scott.
And the thing is, we just don't know where we are on that curve for like AI right now. So the upper limits of what's possible are anyone's guess. I
honestly figured that we're still in kind of like the beginning stages.
Yeah, that's a popular thing. It's a popular thought. I don't know who's to say. I don't know. It's just some weird shit. I don't like it. You know, you get I don't know.
Dude, one of the things AI can't do is art. AI art sucks. Did you see?
It's also just fundamentally wrong.
It is. Support real artists, guys. Anyways, but I don't know if you saw, but you know, like Christmas, when you don't want to wrap and you're lazy, you put it in a bag, right?
I don't ever want to wrap.
There was like a bunch of like stores selling bags that were like AI art, and it would be like reindeers where the antlers on like their butt or something, because it was and it was like, it wasn't that bad, like specifically, but like you could literally tell.
Imagine
like
the resale
it was messed
value
up
on that one, the misprint.
Imagine.
Yeah, and they were like all messed up, and because they were like AI generated, and you can like tell they're so ugly, they're so stupid.
Well,
that's the one thing. Yeah, well, one of the things AI cannot do, art.
And that's the thing, is that I mean it's only getting better with time. I mean, like right now, like, you know, if you have an astute eye, you know, you can tell just like because you're familiar with like kind of what to look for, right? You just kind of look in the background and be like, yeah, like this book
gets better with time.
I don't want that to be true, though. I don't want that to be true.
Have you seen those things where it's like, oh, boomers on Facebook being like, oh, fuck that shit, the moon landing's fake, and then seeing like some like ridiculous AI bullshit, and then being like, oh my gosh, it's so beautiful. They do that, yeah. Like there's this one specific picture, and it's like a crane, like as in like a construction crane, but it's made out of leeks, like the vegetable.
That's hard.
And then people are like, oh my gosh, look at this, it's so cool. And it's like, oh my gosh, you're allowed to vote, kill myself.
Bro, hey, man, it's just like, I do have some amount of sympathy, or maybe not empathy is not the right word. Some amount of understanding, because like you have to imagine like someone born right in the what would someone 80 like what 40s and like the 40s, right? Like you've been through a world where like phones, were just a thing on like the wall, right? And then all of a sudden you're like thrown into a world where Will Smith is eating spaghetti.
That's true.
And looking like some
dude. It was not actually Will Smith. Relax.
just to be thrown in that world. I mean, I don't know. Like I'd like to think that I'm not going to be the same way when I'm old, but like realistically, like by the time that we get to that age too, like technology is just going to get to a point where it's just like I know it's funny and easy to dismiss it as like, oh, they're just like dumb or whatever, but like
they are.
Is there not like a limit though, where like unless you're like actually like mentally incapable of
in the real,
like these same people will have such harsh opinions on so many other things, but then be like, oh my gosh, this elephant made out of chocolate is so real.
I mean, in the real world, there's some amount of variance of, people who are like choosing to be dumb and, people mm-hmm. who literally just like cannot grasp it.
Mm-hmm. I do that every day.
Yeah, general blanket, statements are never true, except for that one. That was a general blanket statement that is wait, hold on. Anyway.
But you're having a lot of fun over there.
I am.
I'm stimming.
He's stimming. We're stimming, bro.
I hope that the floor is shaking from your stimming, and the like video is just like.
No, bro, it's so good. It's so good.
Guys, I need a chariot
earlier, by the way.
Got the chariot. Oh, busting.
Yeah, I bumped into the box, so you might want to get Jamie to edit that
that's
later.
Okay. With the
turn one card into a steel card. Oh,
it's alright. We bump in the box every now and then. It's alright.
That was for you guys.
It adds character. Put some hair on the viewer's chest.
Holy shit! I'm scoring.
Oh my gosh, it's January.
I'm scoring.
I'm scoring.
Look at that difference. Look at the big number compared to.
Oh shit!
I have a really, really, really good build going on, guys.
Dude, we're looking at some.
Still don't understand the
Pete
game.
Bellatro gameplay.
All right, watch this.
I see you tapping the cards.
So you see how I have 3 hands and 5 discards?
Maybe.
3 hands, 5 discards. I need to score 11. 110,000 points. Holy shit. So I'm gonna send this guy out. See how it's wiggling?
Mm-hmm.
I get a copy of this card when I play him. See how so many kings?
Mm-hmm.
He gives me a multiplier for the kings. Mm-hmm. This guy makes the kings play again. Mm-hmm. This guy gave me money. This guy make the face card multiplier. Mm-hmm. Watch this. Only 1 hand, only 1 card. I played a high card.
Oh my gosh, wow.
The big number went. And the music's so good. And the sound's so tactile.
Now this is gaming in 2020.
Game.
Did you see that thing where people were like really hoping that GTA 6 would be $100?
Hoping?
Yeah, they were like it wasn't like people who wanted to buy it, but it was like the gaming industry is really hoping that GTA 6 will be $100 because then they can set an industry standard for games to cost more.
Oh, the industry.
Yeah, as if they already didn't raise it to $70 and it's still ridiculous. I think video games, like at the best, $50, and then like too many games are like $60 when they don't need to be. Like, no hate, Princess Peach game, I liked it, but
lots of hate.
But the Princess Peach game did not need to be $60. That should have been like a $25 game max.
Oof. I kind of view it based on because any studio is never going to willingly admit whether or not, I mean, yeah, even if they know, they're never going to willingly admit when their game is shit. So I think for me, I think price can kind of be more or less correlated with like game time.
Yeah, for sure.
As the most, like, objective standard. Mm-hmm. So if you have a game that's like a few hours, you know, make it like $10, $20, and if you have a game that's like big chungus, then you know you can probably charge more. Because wasn't
I got a giant chungus.
Tears of the Chungus was like $70, wasn't it?
Yeah.
It was? Yeah.
Dang, I got that for 40. Shout out Best Buy.
Let's go.
Black Friday.
And I don't know how many hours it takes to beat.
Dude, I got Tears of the Kingdom and Super Mario Odyssey 2 or whatever.
Oh, really? During Black Friday?
For like $80.
Dang, that's a good deal. See, that's what I'm saying.
Woo!
I definitely, like, I'm not saying, like, oh, like, you gotta admit your game shit, but just, like, maybe also just, like, complexity.
But
you know,
you
like,
do gotta admit it.
Like, Garfield Kart doesn't need to cost the same amount as Mario Kart, you know? Like, there's a reason Garfield Kart was, like, $2. You know? Like, because you can't turn if you run into, like, a wall. You just have to have someone bump into
Garfield Kart is good.
I love
it's good. Yeah, no, I definitely see what you're saying. I mean, and here's the thing. My solution to that isn't to, like, you know, sit around with your dick in your hand and wait for the people who are...
You sure been doing
that is my solution to a lot of problems, like hailing a taxi. But this isn't one of the solutions to these problems.
So on that note, Elon Musk hailed Hitler during Trump's inauguration.
No, I had a point I was gonna make.
We did see that. We hate. We don't stand, guys. I gotta rip up my Tesla card.
Anyway, speak with your money. That's the point I was gonna get at. Speak with your money. If a game is too expensive, even if you want it, but you think that they're like doing bad practices, just don't buy it. Speak with your money.
Speak with your money.
There you go. Speak with your money. There we go.
What do we think about secondary transactions? Where like
when there's an inauguration.
I think our president's trying to make primary transactions.
I say that because
sorry, I thought that was a banger.
A lot of times. I don't buy brand new games. I will buy used games.
Yeah, that's all I am.
So I'm not directly support, but like I know it probably still counts. But I will say because you can always get it cheaper. Like imagine there's like a $70 game, you wait a little bit, let someone else play it, and then they sell it for $40, and then you get. I do that a lot. Like a lot of my games I ever like used, so I don't care.
Oh, I love used games.
Because it don't even matter. It don't even matter, especially since we're not like discs anymore. They're not going to be scratched
The
up.
previous owner gave this game gameroids, and now it is cheaper for me to purchase it.
But yeah, like I think it's so stupid to be like, oh, GTA 6 because it's going to be a really good game should be $100 because it's like if it's a really good game, it'll get a lot of sales. Like you know, just count on the sales to bring up like not bring up the price, but earn more revenue instead of just making it cost more because that's stupid.
True.
So your point is make good games.
Yeah, make good games and don't be a dick about it. Don't be like, oh my gosh, my game is so good, $100. I'll kill you.
Wait, what did you say at the end there?
He's hard.
Oh, fuck. Anyway, I don't know. I think that they can charge whatever the hell they want to charge for it, and if you are under the impression that you really want to play it, but $100 is morally reprehensible to you, that you should speak with your money.
Shut up, capitalist.
Yeah.
Wait to buy it when it's on sale.
Yes, buy it on sale whenever it's 5 cents, because everyone in a perfect society spoke with their money, and the company listened. And then we got results. And
just like Concord.
Yep, just like Concord.
R.I.P. Concord.
People spoke with their money or lack thereof.
That's right.
And things happened.
R.I.P. Concord.
Very, very good things happened.
It was kind of crazy because I saw, like, not like a lot of people, but a few people.
Ball torture. Sorry. I'm not actually. Sorry.
But he is actually Concord in ball torture.
He is the living embodiment.
I love how like you're not like unplugged, you're not disconnected from the conversation, but you're plugged in just enough to throw in Concord and ball torture intermittently, and that's the kind of shit we love here. That's the kind of shit we love here on the podcast.
I'm just trying to keep the podcast running and do my part as the host.
Yeah, we actually got fired. Go ahead and pack your bags.
Yeah, we're under new management is what we'll say.
Live from New York, it's Saturday Night Live. DMCA on their way to my house right now as we speak.
Oh yeah, I was gonna say I saw like a few people actually being like, nah, it should be $100 because there's plenty of people who are like willing to sell their house for that. Obviously, like exaggerating, but I was like, you're crazy. Like, why don't you sug GTA D while you're at it? Also, anyways, point I wanted to bring up.
Here we go.
So you know how there's like a male loneliness epidemic? I say in quotations because that's
dude, red pill. Oh my gosh, let's talk about the manosphere. Dublin is very well versed in this, I reckon.
I was just gonna say, so it's like crazy because they're like, oh my gosh, I'm such a nice guy and no girls like me. But first of all, they're like evil. Anyways, but even people who are nice guys, like it's so weird because you watched Megamind, right? You've seen Megamind.
I'm in Megamind.
I love Megamind.
I'm him.
Megamind is such a good movie for that shit. Cause like you got freaking like Titan, Jonah Hill, I think is Titan. And he'd be like,
Jonah Hill,
yeah, and he'd be like, oh my gosh, I'm a hero now and you're supposed to like me because I'm a hero. And she's like, no, I don't like you still. And then he's like, fuck you, destroys the town.
True.
And it's just so crazy that I feel like a generation raised on Megamind is like, oh my gosh, frick you guys, I'm a nice guy and you guys are terrible. Meanwhile, they're like the worst people you've ever met in your life.
Conspiracy theory: Megamind has brought the downfall of society.
I'm saying Megamind should have brought the upbringing of a good new society, but people ignored Megamind's teachings.
Well, the thing that I saw about it, and it's a pretty open and shut case for how it works, is there is like some amount of good advice sprinkled into like the red pill manosphere, and that's what attracts these guys is someone is like, you know, they feel like an outcast, right?
Mm-hmm.
People who ascribe to this you know, mindset, and then someone comes up to them and is like, hey, you should go to the gym and clean your room and you know, better yourself. And it's like, oh, okay, yeah, like that's good, solid advice. You should take care of yourself, groom yourself. That's good.
Absolutely.
And then in the next breath, they'll be like, and also I pimp out women on OnlyFans. And they're like, sure. You know what? If the guy who told me to do these good things also said to do that, he can't be wrong.
That's true.
It's like dog whistling out loud. No, seriously.
It's just dogging.
Yeah, you draw people into your little pipeline, right? And then they're fucked.
Dude, it's like Andrew Tate. Literally. Because I've seen
that's
so many
what we're
things.
talking about.
Yeah, I've seen so many things where people are like, Andrew Tate, like, encouraged me to go to the gym and now I'm, like, super buff and whatever. And it's like, you know how many other, like, influencer people there are out there that probably spread that same message?
Yeah, it wasn't...
Minus the hateful stuff. But you guys choose to listen to this guy, you know?
It wasn't Andrew Tate. It was words you needed to hear. And you don't dedicate, like, you... So it goes back to, like, what the Bible says, which is don't worship fucking idols.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's exactly what it says, but that's what it says.
I think that's what it is, word for word, actually.
Second commandment. You shall not make for yourself an idol.
Yeah, there you go.
Boom.
Is that word for word?
Yeah.
And then, like, we do that.
Jamie, pull that up.
I mean, I don't speak Hebrew, but that was the English translation.
Oh, so you lied to me.
Sorry, you were saying I was genuinely very invested.
You're good. What was I saying?
You shall not make for yourself an idol.
Yeah, so we make fucking idols for ourselves, and then we lose sight of the greatness that humanity is, or that is innate to humanity. So we fucking categorize people into black and white, and then what? And then we have these idols that, like Andrew Tate, and we take everything they say at face value, as if it's worth hearing, when it's not, right? I'm like totally losing my point.
No, locked in.
I think you made it. Sort of like a not exactly like an appeal to authority fallacy, but sort of similar along that lines, where it's like, you know, you were right about this thing, therefore you must be right about everything.
Right.
Yeah.
But
I think it's also like a big mix of like a little bit of a victim complex that some people have, where it's like,
oh yeah,
I can't get a girlfriend. Oh wait, you're saying it's not my fault and women suck? I didn't think about it like that. I can do no wrong. Because, like, that's, like, literally how it is, you know?
Everybody's looking for a scapegoat, right?
Exactly.
It's a very appealing thought, though, right? Like, if you have an issue and someone comes up to you and it's like, hey, actually, that's not your fault, that's someone else's fault. Like, that's a very comforting thought, right?
Yeah, the issues that is being weaponized by these motherfuckers under the guise of, hey, we care about you, we want you to do the best for yourself that you possibly can. So then you get a sinister message across, and then you set up things like Andrew Tate's little fucking Big Boy Academy.
Sign up for my course. And
exactly, I was gonna say it's all to sell the course.
It's just a big grift, and at the end of the day, it's not to sell self-improvement. It's to foster hate for money. Right?
We should fix the economy, but also buy my Trump Bibles.
Say foster hate for many. Go on.
Money.
Oh, money. Gotcha.
Many fosters hate and many.
Yeah, I mean hate sells, bro.
Mm-hmm.
Hate sells because it is a solution.
It's a solution. It's a fake solution. It's a band-aid to any problem.
Yeah, I mean, because it's so much easier to just go, hey, the solution to your problem is that you are
is that it's actually not your fault at all, and you don't have to do anything about it.
Helpless than it is to be like, maybe I am the issue. Maybe I am the problem.
Everything that's wrong in the world is not your fault, and it's actually someone else's fault, and you should blame them accordingly.
Yeah, big woman just wants to keep you down.
That's true. Big woman.
Big woman needs to make their profits, and they right. You heard of big pharma. Now get ready for big woman. Big woman.
That's crazy that you say that like hate sells, because it reminds me of like how people say that like fear sells, like a lot in journalism.
Sex sells,
and I've been seeing a lot of people who are saying that, like, I don't know if you noticed, but there's like a lot of like journalists and like all these like article companies and all the news companies and stuff who like kind of went out of their way to really shit hard on Biden, but then like negate anything bad that Trump has ever done in his life. Or like how it'll be like, I don't know if you've seen the meme where it's like, oh, if a white family or like a white guy kills someone, it's like a picture of him with his family looking all happy. But if it's like a picture of like someone who's like not white who killed someone, it's like the worst, craziest picture you've ever seen that paints them in like the worst light possible.
It's sensationalism.
But yeah, and like I've seen a lot of things where people were saying that they think that the like news outlets and all those things were doing that because like there have been reports from like CEOs of like news like companies saying that like their ratings were off the chart whenever Trump was in office because there's so many things to report on with him. There's something new every single minute of the day.
When Trump was out of office, people were still reporting on him all the time. I remember that specifically. I was talking to someone, I was like, why the fuck is he on the news all the time? He hasn't been in office in over 2 years and he was still on the news all the fucking time, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like he was like a huge part in like the like most recent like midterm elections. Like he was on there all the time, like being like, oh, support this person. Like he was literally like kind of like running things like the show from like behind the scenes. And like it also like he has that much power because like the news outlets keep giving him a spotlight. And so it was kind of crazy because like I was seeing all these people saying that they think that the reason that the news is doing that is like just because they want higher ratings, they want more clicks, they want more like ad revenue, and they get that when there's more fear going on, when there's something crazy going on all the time because Trump is like super unprofessional and always doing something stupid.
I feel like that's not even a question of whether or not that's true.
Exactly, yeah. It's just like crazy because I didn't really connect those dots before because I genuinely was thinking like I saw something and it was talking about like I saw like multiple articles being like Michelle Obama's not going to go to Trump's inauguration. What the fuck? And people were like, no one's mentioning that Trump didn't go to Biden's inauguration.
Well, also, nobody fucking cares. None of this shit matters.
Exactly, yeah.
That's not a joke. None of it matters.
The people who do care, though,
on my podcast
are the like Fox News people who like watch Fox News and like want something to be mad about all the time.
Here's the thing. Fox News people, the ones on the broadcast, don't have opinions.
Oh, I meant like the people who watch Fox News. Yeah. That's true. They do not. They just say what the money tells them to say. For sure. 100%. But, yeah. So...
Sort of in line with that thing we were talking about with Andrew Tate, I'm kind of drawing a parallel here that I'm sure has already been drawn plenty of times. Sort of the thing where it's like someone says something that you agree with and that like is good in your eyes, so sort of like go and work out, and then you kind of like just take everything they say at face value. Trump's a similar thing, because if you're already of the opinion of like pronouns, what the fuck is that? And then you have two candidates, and at face value, one of them is like, hey, people exist and that's cool. And then you have another candidate that's like, pronouns? What the fuck is that? And you're a voter who thinks to yourself, pronouns? What the fuck is that? Then that, like, anything else from there, you're just like, what? All these crazy... And then you just... It doesn't matter.
Yeah, so that's the thing. So many people are single-issue voters instead of looking at, like, the grand effects of policy and thinking about how it will affect everybody in society as opposed to their one single individual self or their single fucking nuclear family, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
So, like, that's one thing. But on the note of... other than being single-issue voters, on the note of what Trump says, is he won based on, y'all are broke. I'll fix that. And Democrats try to get a complex message across of, you know, I'm not even going to go into it. It's so many different things that are effectively just identity politics to make you feel better. And obviously Trump is going to win when he, in quotes, tackles the issues that Americans are facing. He's not going to do any of that, but that's how he wins. But the other thing about what people hear from Trump is he says everything. You can't fact check the things he says because he says everything. Some of it true, some of it completely false. And there's not enough time in the day for a news cycle to tackle every single thing that he says. And there's also no money in that. And nobody's thinking about it. And so none of this shit that actually does harm people and is going to gets talked about because it doesn't generate revenue in the news. And also because there's so many other things that that is going to generate revenue in the news. Shit like that. And also, it just gets missed because who the fuck is paying attention to every single thing Trump says when he says that much shit all the time and most of it's untrue? How are you supposed to figure out which stuff is going to be true? And you don't see it until it's too late, and then we have things like Project 2025 going into place.
Exactly. Because it was never going to happen, and then here we are today.
We're dismantling FEMA, things like that. Like, this is bad. So here's the thing. You know how he's tackling DEI stuff, diversity, equity, and inclusion. In a lot of correspondences they've sent to companies that are publicly traded or government funded, because that's what's being affected by the DEI initiatives. Not things like Target and Walmart and shit like that. They get to change their shit because they no longer have to conform. But all of these companies were sent a correspondence that said it referred not to DEI but DEIA, with accessibility being tagged on the end of it. So disabled people are going to be thrown under the bus along with any of the DEI initiatives, which is very similar to a Nazi era policy called Action T4, I think. Yeah, Action T4, where it was
the iceberg.
It's involuntary euthanasia targeting people with disabilities. That's what that was in Nazi Germany. And this is a more subtle way to do that same thing. Maybe it's not that conspiratorial, but from everything else that I've seen from the people who actually are behind the scenes and think about this shit, that's what it's for. And then you have people like Elon Musk fucking Nazi saluting twice in a row.
So curious. Do you know what the stated goal of tacking on the disabilities? I don't even know what that is. I did see something about it. So it's like employers no longer have to cater to the ADA standards. Is that what it is?
Yes.
I'm curious as
like
to
the
what
ADA can't.
Yeah, I'm curious as to what the like
here. This is the why. The Biden administration forced illegal and immoral discrimination programs going by the name diversity, equity, inclusion into virtually all aspects of the federal government in areas ranging from airline safety to the military. This was a concerted effort stemming from President Biden's first day in office when he issued that executive order advancing racial equity and support for undeserved communities through the federal government. DEI stuff. Making sure everybody has an equitable chance at getting government jobs and things like that.
That's woke.
Sure. So
that's not allowed.
I'm just trying to figure out.
I'm in favor of
DEI because like getting rid of the DEI, the DEI stuff makes sense because it's like that already appeals to the kind of the narrative of like divisiveness. So that like that checks out in my mind that like yeah, that would happen. How the fuck do you justify the A part like that? Like that's like blatant. Like
let's see.
I've seen a lot of things where conservatives will be like, we don't need any of that stuff because there is already like fair hiring standards and stuff like that. So you guys like they're saying that. I know
because America's great and we have things set up properly.
Yeah, I've seen so many things where people will argue
they were set up properly.
They argue against DEI because they don't think that DEI gives everybody a fair advantage. They think that it gives like specific people more fair, like oh, this person's gonna get hired because they're Asian and I'm white and I'm not gonna get hired and they're not qualified and I am. That's what they think.
Companies will do that to look good.
They do.
That's true, sometimes. But that's not the purpose of DEI.
Exactly.
So here's another stated why. Pursuant to Executive Order 13985 and follow-on orders, nearly every federal agency and entity submitted equity action plans to detail the ways that they have furthered DEI's infiltration of the federal government. This is very specific language. The public release of these plans demonstrated immense public waste and shameful discrimination. That ends today. This is on whitehouse.gov, mind you.
That's another thing. I know that people were saying it was a waste of money.
Right.
And they're trying to cut federal spending.
He said, that ends today. Americans deserve a government committed to serving every person with equal dignity and respect and to expanding precious taxpayer resources only on making America great. So the argument is that it's way too much money on discrimination. That's the argument, when that is not the case. That's the opposite of what is happening. It's projection. When you get rid of that, you're spending money on discrimination. When you say this is what it is, you're actually saying what you're doing. A lot of times when you're a conservative, it's massive projection.
And the part I'm trying to understand is like if you're already in the camp of like, oh, you know, like it's not fair, you know, the equality is not equality, whatever. Like if you're already in that mindset, then like fine, whatever. Where the fuck does getting rid of the ADA have to come into that? That's the part I'm like genuinely lost at. Like how does anyone who supports getting rid of DEI look at getting rid of any sort of disability, like accessibility?
Because nobody's looking at that.
Is that what it is?
DEIA is what's on the documents. DEI is what's in the news.
I'm not gonna lie, I know
it's sinister and it's meant to harm people.
Yeah.
It's under the guise of we're making it more fair. That's why people don't know it's DEIA. It's deliberately not spread in the news.
How the I was gonna I could be the most like virulent racist, you know, and whatever, but like
and have a disabled grandma who needs a ramp to get into the house or go to work.
And that's the part that's so crazy to me, because I would look at that and be like, what the fuck? Like that doesn't even compute with any sort of like.
Absolutely nobody is going to whitehouse.gov and looking at
That's the thing. Yeah, I can tell you so many like Republican family members, like my girlfriend's family members, they probably couldn't even tell you what DEI stands for, but they'll rant about DEI all day.
Same thing with critical race theory.
Exactly,
and other
critical
things
race
that
theory
actually do matter and are good for society.
Exactly. Because critical race theory is being taught in first grade. Oh my gosh. It's not. Morons. It's a college level course. Stupid idiots.
So is the answer just like purposeful suppression?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, dude, the government is not to serve you, even though that's the guys that.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Unfortunately.
I was gonna say, how is the fact that the richest person in the world is in the pocket of this particular political candidate, and that is not the biggest red flag immediately to anyone that you would think for half a second that the richest person in the world is even remotely aligned with your goals as an average American.
Because they're dumb. I'm gonna be my sister.
That's true. They're not educated.
Yeah, my sister, she voted for Trump. and we were ranting a while ago because we were like, fuck rich people. They like, we get fucked over. Like all the reason that things are expensive isn't because of inflation. It's because of corporate greed, and fuck them. And she was like, yeah, 100%. And then she voted for Trump. And I'm like, he's like besties with Elon Musk. He had all the like richest people at his inauguration. And they were sitting in front of cabinet members, by the way. They were front and center. But don't worry. Trump is for the American modern worker. And he's going to drain the swamp.
Here's the thing. These people can't explain why they make the decisions that they make. And also, they don't know why. Other than, oh, I like the words he says, without looking any deeper than that. When these are the people that are like, yeah, you can't trust a soul on the street, they take what politicians say at face value.
Exactly.
And they don't employ any sort of critical thinking at all because they don't know what critical thinking is because that's not taught. I was taught that like in 1 grade, and then I'm sure it was bulldozed, just like so many other programs were in my specific grade, in my specific school generation, if you will. What's the word? Alumni?
Well, I understand
you know
what you're saying.
But anyway, critical thinking and fact checking and looking, like, doing actual research is not taught and never was. And so people are running off of their lizard brain instincts and, again, voting on single issues that tickle their brain because buzzwords are being used. And these people know that. And I want to show you something. It's called the Atwater Accord, I think. This was in the 50s, I think, actually. Southern Strategy and Lee Atwater.
I'm liking it so far.
Here we go.
Here's how I would approach that issue as a statistician or a political science, or no, as a psychologist, which I'm not, is how abstract you handle the race thing. In other words, you start out, and now y'all want to quote me on this. You start out in 1954 by saying nigger, nigger, nigger. By 1968, you can't say nigger. That hurts your backfire. So you say stuff like forced busing, states' rights, and all that stuff. And you're getting so abstract now. You're talking about cutting taxes, and all of these things you're talking about are totally economic things. And the byproduct of them is blacks get hurt worse than whites. And subconsciously, maybe that is part of it. I'm not saying that, but I'm saying that if it is getting that abstract and that coded, that we're doing away with the racial problem one way or the other. You follow me? Because obviously sitting around saying we want to cut taxes, we want to cut this, and we want is much more abstract than even the busing thing, and a hell of a lot more abstract than nigger. So any way you look at it, race is coming on the back burner.
So that's called the Southern Strategy. This was recorded in 1981, actually. Far more recent. And these are the people that are in power. And then we hear things about cutting taxes and this and that and the other, which will hurt us, but will hurt people who are already in poor economic situations further, which tend to be people of color. By virtue of how our country is set up. Your spawn point, your zip code, determines a whole lot in your life.
That's true. Think about how, like, even if you don't like school, like, our school, like, that we went to, our public schools, are, like, probably way better than some. Like, yeah, are definitely way better than probably a lot of other ones,
The other part of that is the same, the whites and the blacks that were born in the same shitty ghetto-ass neighborhood are going the same place in life. But people aren't looking at that. They're looking at, look at all the blacks in the ghetto. When there's an equal amount of disadvantaged motherfuckers and we're all on the same level here. You can, there's such a good quote, and I'm gonna butcher it. I don't know exactly how it goes off the top of my head, but you can make a white man do anything by giving the black man a little less. It's shit like that. If you give somebody a scapegoat, then they're not worried about what you're doing. And it's been like that forever. And that's what this dude was talking about. And it's a matter of oppression intentionally under the guise of other shit. And that's why I have no doubt in my mind that Donald Trump's administration is so fucking sinister, even if it's not him himself administrating all of that. Doesn't matter. It's like the Queen of England. She's not the one putting all this shit into place or making all the decisions. She's the figurehead.
Sure.
Right? And Donald Trump is the president, and he's signing all of these executive orders into place, and he's being fed them, and they're being written by very fucking evil people who are in his cabinet that he has set and appointed. People with no political background that just have money that will act in his best interest. Or in their vested interest.
I was gonna say, I mean, kind of the same point where it's like it doesn't matter the color of your skin. Like if you grow up in a shitty area, like that's what it is. It's follow the money. You know, that's like the one thing that I've learned. It's one thing that my father has instilled in me from a young age is follow the money.
Yeah, all issues of division and race and inequality are economic at the end of the day.
Yeah.
But they're economic because they're made to be economic. They're issues that are intentionally placed there. Or rather, created by other sinister intentions.
The thing that really, and I don't know, maybe I'll have to do some more research into this sometime, but like, when the fuck did executive orders become a thing?
I'm pretty sure that's always been a thing.
Because, yeah, I suppose, like I said, I have to do more research, but does it not rub anyone else the wrong way that you can almost just sort of circumvent the checks and balances of the government and, like, law creation by just waving your magic president wand and creating shit, and as long as the Supreme Court doesn't strike you down, it's a go? I don't know. Maybe I don't understand. Maybe there are limitations on what can be executive ordered versus law. I don't know.
Well, I will say executive orders don't make something a law. It just like orders how like specific like federal agencies work. So
I don't know.
So it's not like
executive orders are signed statements about how the president wants the federal government to be managed.
Yeah.
They can be instructions to federal agencies or requests for reports. Many orders can be unobjectionable, such as giving federal employees the day after Christmas off. They can also lay out major policies. For example, Biden signed an order to create a structure for establishing regulations on AI. Executive orders and the policy sausage making siblings? The proclamation and political memorandum. Okay.
AI.
You don't want to know how the sausage is made. That's what it's talking about.
Oh, okay.
But executive orders and their siblings, the proclamation and political memorandum, also are used by presidents to pursue agendas that can't get through Congress.
I don't like that.
New presidents can and often do issue orders to cancel the orders of their predecessors. The orders do not require congressional approval and can't be directly overturned by lawmakers. However, Congress can block an order from being fulfilled by removing funding or creating other hurdles.
I was gonna say, or just like passing a law.
Executive orders are often about political messaging. Clearly, we understand this. There's limits to the power. Congress and the courts can potentially block executive orders, so he's working on getting rid of birthright citizenship. That's been blocked in the courts for now. In 92, Congress revoked an executive order by H.W. that would establish a human fetal tissue bank. Okay. Congress can also deny funding to agencies and hamstring the enforcement. There's legal challenges based on the argument that a president exceeded his legal authorities. Obviously, we have a felon in office. There are legal challenges.
I don't remember off the top of my head, but I want to say you need the majority of Congress to pass a law, but then if the president vetoes it, they need a supermajority of 2/3 to override the veto. Off the top of my head,
I think it's something like that.
Is how that works.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
So yeah, even if Buddy Boy does veto it, you can overpower it. The problem is, good luck getting the supermajority of Congress to do literally jack shit.
Except for banning TikTok. That's the only thing they'll come together to try and do.
TikTok, very cool. And that's the thing that's the thing that really upsets me is the obsession with I don't know if identity politics is the right word. Right. No, that's definitely not. But it's like the idea of like, oh, I need to align myself with this quote unquote side and everything they say, or else my constituency is going to band together against me. And like the over concern for re-election over the integrity of lawmaking and just the system in general.
None of the people that want to be in power and get into power should be. Right?
None of them actually care about anything.
That's one of the oldest adages, ain't there?
If
you want to be in power, you shouldn't be.
They're there for the insider trading and the lobbying money. That's basically it. Did you see that like Jeff Bezos is paying Melania like $40 million for a documentary, and people are saying it's just like a cover up to give Trump $40 million?
Yeah, of course.
Of course, you know. And I think that we should
a drop in the fucking bucket.
Yeah.
But...
That's like buying a painting, right? An expensive ass painting, giving it to somebody. They take that as a gift, and then they sell it tax free, because there was no transfer of money between them. It was just an asset.
Yeah.
Oh man.
I think we need to get rid of PACs. We need to get rid of money. I think all donations should just be by individuals with a certain amount limitation, and that's it. Yeah.
Hey, store manager at retail store I work at. You know, I don't want anything from you, but here's a link to a funny monkey picture that's worth, you know, a lot of money. Later. Here's a link to a funny. Thank you. Here's a link to a funny monkey picture that's worth a lot of money, and I want you to have this. Merry Christmas, management. I want nothing in exchange. Lobbying, bro. Fuck it. And that's the other thing that also is so insane to me is that the same people that benefit from laws being a certain way are the same people who are required to change that. For case in point, term limits, setting term limits. The same people who benefit from there not being term limits in Congress are the same people who would be necessary to add term limits in Congress. Who built this system? That is so fucking stupid. The same people who benefit from the fact that corporations are people and can vote with their money and are allowed to, you know, super PACs and all this shit are the same people who would have to change that.
Exactly, yeah. Did you know that, like...
What?
On this note, Congressman Andy Ogles introduced a House joint resolution to amend the Constitution of the United States to allow a president to be elected for up to, but no more than 3 terms.
But did you see that there's an addition in there that if you served your 2 terms consecutively, you don't get to run again? So R.I.P. Obama versus Trump. Because, you know... Why let Obama?
Would Obama even want to run again?
He probably wouldn't, but if he did just so happen to, he probably would definitely win.
That's incredible.
But yeah, don't worry, but though, they thought about that.
Obama's not a good president either. So the issue with Obama was that he ran on some very good policy ideas, and then he didn't enact them. He enacted a much more conservative fucking legislature. And because of that, like, people got fucked. We were bombing children with drones because of Obama. As much as he is an unbelievably charismatic and awesome outwardly person, his presidency was not as good as like my liberal parents think. You know what I mean?
Dude, shout out to having liberal parents. That's such a rare W. I wish.
I agree.
My parents.
But
I am a lot less familiar because I have not, because since I was a kid, you know, when all that was happening, I have not done the retroactive research. I mean, I know that Obama is like drone strike, haha, but that's about all I know about his.
No, that's just kind of a talking point. I probably shouldn't have brought that up, but like it is a point.
Well, I mean, I know that, and the other thing I know is like the gay marriage thing.
That was huge.
That's about all I know about Obama's presidency.
What else did he do that he promised so many other things that he did not do? He promised to codify Roe v. Wade, and then that didn't happen.
You know what?
What's new in presidencies?
Exactly.
Yeah, you have to say what you need to say to get up on the podium, and then once you have it, as long as I don't break any laws, you physically cannot get rid of me. I don't have to do shit that I promised because you can't impeach me for being a liar.
Yep.
You can just say it's hard and he tried and people blocked it. That's my thing. Is the one thing I can say about Republicans, even though I disdain them with my whole life. I will say, they know how to get things done. Like, obviously, they don't get the things you promise. Like, we're not going to get lower prices. No, but the evil things that they want to get done, good at what they will get. Like, I need Democrats to stop playing defense. We need offense.
Democrats are pussies. And
they are.
That's the issue. We're so focused on identity politics and all of these little issues. Like, oh, we're going to ban TikTok. Shut the fuck up. Mm-hmm. Bro, California's burning to the ground, right? Like, our economy is gonna be fucked.
It just sucks now because I feel like you have to play into the culture wars these days because that's basically what Trump won on. Like, I saw, like, this huge poll that was talking about, like, how all these people, like, it was, like, a bunch of moderate voters and that they were leaning towards Trump because they thought that Kamala was giving illegal immigrants transgender sex change operations and funding it publicly. Or federally.
I remember the illegal alien sex change.
Yeah. And then because there are Haitian migrants eating the dogs and Kamala Harris isn't going to deport them, but Trump will and he will save your dogs. Like, there were so many just stupid things. Or like how transgender people are pedophiles and they're trying to freaking assault your daughter. That's not happening.
Like, None of these things are happening. All of that shit was generated within those party lines. Mm-hmm. And that disinformation was spread, and it fucking worked.
It worked. It won them. It won them the presidency. Because, like, all these people who say that they voted for him because of cheaper prices, it's not true. I literally saw a poll where people were like, it was like Republicans vote that, like in a poll, that they wouldn't be too upset if prices go up because of tariffs on Canada and Mexico. Because they don't care. These people, like, genuinely don't have... Like the voters themselves, a lot of them don't have their own policies and like their own actual like moral compass. Their whole policies are whatever Trump says and the opposite of whatever the other party says. That's like genuinely what it is. Like, I'm so serious. Because
it's easier. Exactly. It's easier to do it that way.
Yeah, it's easier to be like, you said that's bad. So it's like, it sucks because I don't know how we're supposed to combat that, especially when like the media leans kind of like really right wing now because it gets them ratings. Like how Fox News is like the most popular news station.
Is it really?
They are the most popular one. They get like the best ratings and I think they have like the most viewers. And even CNN, you know, CNN's supposed to be like the liberal one.
Yeah.
You know, they like literally like their CEO or whatever has literally been like, yeah, we need to start catering to both sides because we want to get some conservative people to start watching our show.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so it's like, how are you supposed to combat that?
Fox News is marginally better than InfoWars.
Dude, I think all these things that are like misinformation should be like, they should be banned. Like, did you see that in a court case? They like were getting like sued or something, and like their argument.
Fox News.
Yeah, Fox News, like a long time ago, and their argument was that like no person really believes the things that Fox News says. We're an entertainment channel, not a news channel.
That's what they said.
That's what they said, and they won. They won the suit. They didn't have to pay money.
Oh, that's fucked.
It's crazy. It's insane.
I will say, in defense of the common voter, there is a reason not everyone is president, and even is interested, and that's because there's a lot of issues, right? Mm-hmm. There's a lot of issues. There's a lot to think about, you know, foreign policy, domestic policy. The most stressful
jobs in the entire fucking world.
There's a lot to do. There's a lot to have an opinion on, and the problem, obviously, inherently by having a binary system, is that it's horribly reductive of the vast wealth of different opinions one can have about the vast number of issues that there are. Mm-hmm. And so, like, the thing about that, like you were saying, like, oh, you know, whatever Trump says goes, and that's all that matters, and that's all they care about. Mm-hmm. Because of the number of vast, you know, things that there are to care about, all it takes is that one dog whistle, that one thing that just really speaks to your core, and you're sold. Because, you know, there's no room for you to have a different opinion about foreign policy and social issues and reproductive rights and whatever else. So you're just going to look at whichever one, you know, likes the people that you like and dislikes the people that you dislike. And that's... and in good/bad faith, you will assume
Do you see that?
that everyone. No.
Barely grazed the corner.
You will. You will assume
That was almost so bad.
that you know, it is
Guys,
what it is.
Kratom or liquor?
And think no further. Liquor.
Cool.
But that's like, because I know that's how my sister is, the one I'm going to see tomorrow. She voted for Trump because she wants prices to be lower. But it was funny because she was like, I don't want to vote for Kamala because she's making a lot of promises, because she made a lot of like actual like ideas. Like she brought forth a lot of actual ideas for how to lower prices and how to increase wages and how to like stop corporate greed from like raising prices and like giving people tax cuts for first time home buyers. And she was like, I feel like she just makes a lot of promises and she's not going to do those. But then she was like, I'm voting for Trump because he's going to make prices lower. And I'm like, okay, so you're stupid. Anyways, but it's
there
funny.
You go. It's that one issue, and that's
exactly.
all.
And I'll try to ask her. I'll be like, hey, what about this and this and this and all these other things going on in the world? And she was like, I don't know. I don't keep up with that. And I was like, well, we're going to get tariffs. Nothing's going to get cheaper. I hope you know that. And she was like, well, we'll just have to see. And this is the same sister who probably isn't going to watch the podcast. But this is the same sister who the first time voted for Trump because my parents told her to. And she just did it because she didn't want to look up anything for herself, and she just wanted to do what her parents said.
That's what I'm saying. Like, once you create the false dichotomy in your mind of right and wrong instead of just this or that or opinions, I mean, sometimes it's right and wrong, but for the most part, it's just like this or that. Once you create that false dichotomy, you can kind of just, like, run the... you can kind of just run the show from there.
Throw that cup away.
Because, like you said, at that point, whatever evidence that someone latches onto to be like, oh, I'm gonna vote for this person because they did this and I like that, and then even when you present them with evidence to the contrary, they still don't back down and they say, oh, well, let's see, or oh, this or that. It's because you've already created that false dichotomy of this is the good and this is the right and this is the wrong. And so once you've created that, you can do no wrong. It doesn't matter because I'm on the right side, and so they wouldn't, that's all it is.
Exactly.
Top button.
That's the worst part too, where it's like, not only will these people pick a side, but you can give them cold hard evidence and they will not, like, because they don't want to admit that they're wrong. So they will just go to hell defending what they think that they believe in, even if the party that they voted for is doing the complete opposite. Like my mom, she said, because I was telling them, I was like, Trump is like super anti-LGBT. Anyone with a brain knows that. And my mom sent me this thing, and it was a screenshot, and it was like executive order.
Third button from the bottom.
What was it? It was like executive order signed to advance LGBT rights. And my mom was like, look at what Trump signed today. And I was like, Mom, that screenshot says 2022. That is something that Biden signed. Trump did not sign that. And she was like, oh. And I sent her like 4 different executive orders that Trump signed. Banning transgender people from the military, banning DEI for like LGBT things and stuff like that. And she was like, oh, that's really sad to see. And that was it. Because my parents have specifically told me that we vote red family no matter what. And I don't do that. I do not do what mommy and daddy say because that's stupid.
Because
that's stupid. Get your own opinions. Get your own personality.
I mean, when I was 18, that's also why I voted for Trump, because daddy told me to.
Exactly. But at least now you've learned, like, that's what I'm saying. Like, that's the difference. Like, there's people who, like, just, like, don't care. Like, my sister...
That's what CRT really stands for. Critical thinking. That's the CRT we need to be talking about.
That really is.
How much is that?
Critical thinking. Not enough is the answer.
Maybe, like, 2 shots? But, yeah, so... I'm literally thinking about it, and I just don't know what people can do to fix the problem. Because, like, again, like, how can Democrats even, like, begin to compete with all the misinformation? And, again, all the, like, news stations totally backing the Republican side and the Trump side because, I don't know, just because it's the more interesting side and the one that's going to get them the most ratings. Like, what are people supposed to do? I don't even know. I can't even think.
I mean, the 2 schools of thought is obviously education, right? But if people are stuck in their ways, the answer is just like the political pendulum. I don't know if you've seen this before, but like throughout time, the political pendulum kind of swings left and right. Like the 20s was like very liberal, right, and then it swings back to the right, and then it swings back to the left. So
this just shows me that Americans never learn. Because why are we going back and forth? This is stupid.
Well, I mean, the answer is a two-party system. Mm-hmm. That is the root of a lot of the problems. It's a two-party system.
Nobody looks at any sort of bigger picture. Our scope is solely on now, our identity, our individualism, our this guy is doing bad, this guy's doing good. Be like this guy. And fuck this guy though, because he's this guy.
Exactly.
Right. Yeah.
And that's why we have the same few middle ground states that get to decide every single election because they can't make up their mind.
I mean that's kind of why like, you know, war is really good for uniting people, right? Because what unites people more than a common enemy? So if you can convince people that there's a common enemy, then it's just about all you need. And oh man, do people love their scapegoats? Their scapegoats, the thing you said. Call back. Yeah. OMG.
Is that what, like, COVID was then? Was it like, evil China or something? Was that it? Was China our war? Was COVID our war?
I don't know, man. I mean, you can... Here's the thing is, like, regardless of what it is, like, regardless of what the situation is, you can make an enemy out of any situation.
100%.
It does not matter. If you want there to be hate will, you know.
Which is sad because
love does not trump hate, unfortunately. In
I feel like
modern world,
Kamala ran on like a really like unitive like campaign. I know that like people mention a lot that she like went out of her way to not like mention a lot of things that could have been divisive. Like she didn't make like a huge deal about like LGBT rights because that's a really hot topic right now, and she didn't even like really focus on the whole like first black woman president, you know, like because people wouldn't like that. And it's just like crazy because like I've seen so many things where like all of their posters are like uniting, like coming together, you know, stuff like that, and then it's just like you have Trump who's like Mexican bad and everyone's like woo. Like, did you see that in an interview? He was like, you can just tell which Mexicans are the bad ones based on how they look. He literally said that. But you know what? No one's gonna care. It's also... Yeah, that's also another issue. Yikes. Where, like, I would talk to my parents and I'd be like, hey, he's running on all these policies. And my mom was like, no, that's not gonna happen. He would never do that because that's why we have checks and balances and those aren't gonna happen. And it's like, I feel like someone just saying those things should be bad enough, though. Like, the fact that isn't important enough to you is that's like a moral problem that you have, I think. But
yikes.
Yeah.
Yikes. Well, I mean, I feel like it's about time that we wrap this baby up, put a nice little bow on it. So
Dublin started stimming too hard.
Dublin, would you like to give our viewers some lasting words?
Be good to your neighbors. Find love anywhere and everywhere you can, because shit like this happens because we just pay attention to the wrong things.
Word.
Act out of love.
Sonder. Truly. Well, boys and girls, if you like this episode, you know, do the things. Thanks for showing up. If you made it all the way through, genuinely appreciate you. And
like, comment, and subscribe. Turn on the bell.
Oh yeah, baby.
Mickey for president.
Yep. Patreon.com/Mickey for president.